Well, what do you see? Do you see yourself watching more of the PGA or more of the LIV Golf?
I personally am watching both.
Okay.
I sure hope that LIV gets a TV contract. Now, that doesn't mean I haven't watched it. Yesterday I watched it. It was on YouTube. Cameron Smith won. Dustin Johnson came in second. So those are fun players to watch.
Yeah.
Dustin won the last event. It comes down, kind of to the wire, and it's a shotgun format, and all the leaders kind of tee off together on the last day. And so the best players are still playing together. That was one of the complaints, that, you could be, kind of leading the tournament, and some other guy who's on a completely different shotgun hole kind of leaps the field and wins the tournament and doesn't have the same drama as like a normal PGA Tour event. But ultimately, the nice part is, because it's a shotgun, it really only takes 4 hours for the whole TV coverage, and you don't get stuck kind of having to watch, like 6-8 hours of TV to watch a golf event, which is a long day.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess there's pros and cons to it. I mean, it's definitely better as the viewer, for sure. Because, and then it also comes down to the wire more in the shotgun scenario, because if you're watching on, the standard format, everyone has a tee time, you're kind of watching like the guys who are in the lead tee off last. So then you're kind of calculating like, okay, this guy's going to need to birdie these few holes before he finishes, because this guy's on 14.
Yep.
And it's like you're kind of seeing it play out as it happens. So I think that's kind of tough.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So
it's a lot more exciting when there's a shotgun format and it's like coming down to the wire.
Yeah, I like the leaderboard. It looks like F1 on the left. It tells you how many holes they have to play, and it shows you what order. And really, when you see the order, there's nobody that's got more holes to play where they can leapfrog everybody.
Right.
So I think they've done a pretty good job so far. It's unfortunate that it kind of right now it's kind of divided some of the major players to where they're a little bit. It seems like they're angry with each other or whatever.
Oh, really?
And ultimately, I think that they'll get together in a year or two and kind of play nice a little bit more. But for right now, it's like anything in the world. There's going to be a lot of lawyers involved trying to figure out the world ranking points. Can they play in majors? Can they come back to the PGA Tour and all that stuff? And you just wish that they could all just kind of somehow the two commissioners could just get together and just say, hey, let's come to some sort of resolution.
Yeah. I think so. You're saying that the players in the PGA are upset with the people that are moving over?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because ultimately, they're staying faithful to the PGA Tour and not taking any of the signing bonus money. Mm-hmm. And some of them could. Rory McIlroy would get $200 million if he jumped to LIV. And so,
but he's saying he doesn't want to go.
He wants to stay and try to go after, more majors. And there's so many factors. Like Rory McIlroy is probably already worth $200 million, so he doesn't need the money. And so the problem is that basically you can't double dip. You can't go play the other tour, take $200 million as a signing bonus, and come back to the PGA Tour when you want to and stuff like that, and just pop back and forth. You either kind of have to play one or the other right now. And I kind of understand it more. In the beginning, I thought maybe they're going to have to let them come back and play the PGA Tour when they want. But the more that you kind of see it from both sides, I just hope they don't ban him from the majors, because I don't want to not see Cameron Smith play in the British Open next year. He won the tournament this year. Yeah. How can you ban the guy from playing in the British Open? And ultimately, I feel like an international player, I'd be even more ticked off, because like this week's the President's Cup, and it's the best international players that aren't from Europe, and people like Luis Oosthuizen can't play in the President's Cup this week. He's from South Africa. Who's to say that a South African guy is not allowed to go join a tour that's based just because it's based out of Saudi Arabia? All he's doing. Why are you banning me from the President's Cup? I'm just playing. What if I played on the Asian Tour? Would you ban me now? No. They're only banning him because he's playing on the LIV Tour. And so there's some of those things that are kind of like, we'll see where it goes.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah. And 2-3 years ago, nobody saw this coming. And ultimately, in hindsight, you're dealing with, the richest, wealth fund in the world. And they were on a mission to start a new golf league. And you should have, as the PGA Tour commissioner, in my mind, at least had a conversation with them and said, maybe we can work together a little bit, and maybe give them 4 tournaments or 6. But now, because they put up this brick wall, now the LIV is going to try to basically knock them, come out.
It's war now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's engaging me just saying that they have the music and entertainment factor and you can hear the players talk. Like, I like that because it's a little bit more engaging. You get to see a little bit more of the personalities of the pros,
Yeah. And they're trying to, just be fun, and not be, just the traditional. And the other part, I don't know if you caught, they last tournament 2 weeks ago, they started allowing them to wear shorts.
Oh, really?
LIV Tour.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So
that's a big change.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, most of them look pretty good with shorts on. There was one guy yesterday had like black socks with white stripes to go with his outfit. I was like, I don't know about that one.
Keep it to short socks.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're in shorts. Not everybody's in shorts yet, but they're allowed to wear shorts. And so that's new.
Do you think that's because the company decided that, or do you think that's because the players were wanting that?
The players wanted it.
Oh, yeah.
And the commissioner, Greg Norman, said he put out a poll and asked the players, and they all, said, yeah, we're cool with shorts. And
that's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, casual. And it's not like these guys aren't wearing $120 shorts. These guys are dressed, super nice. And, why can't they? It's Chicago. It's 80 degrees, 80,
I know.
Humidity. Why do you have to wear pants,
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's not changing their abilities.
Correct.
Yeah. So, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I appreciate you coming on, Shawn.
Yeah, it was fun. LIV Golf, I love talking about it.
Yeah.
And, some about the golf course. But, you're doing a great job. I really enjoy listening, to your podcast. And thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thank you, guys.
See you.